10 to 7, you're with ABC Capricornia. Now, labour hire. It's become increasingly popular over the last few years in the mining industry, and it offers flexibility for companies, certainly, but for workers it can take a toll. Gavin Geiger has worked in the mining industry for over 2 decades, and he's experiencing the difficulties of labour hire firsthand. He's speaking here with Inga Stunzner.
I got a phone call last Monday saying that I'm not, my services aren't required to come Wednesday, which was last Wednesday night. I was supposed to start back night shift. But yeah, you never get a reason why, and I feel that is wrong. People should know if you break a breach of out on site or whatever, or the end of contract. But I just think it's a bit poor in regards to I'm a family man, I have kids, there's a lot of labour hire guys out there in the same boat. If they would have rang me on my first day off last Wednesday, would have gave me 5 days leadway into finding a new job.
And you've been in the industry, you were saying, for over 20 years, and labour hire's really taken off in the last couple of years. So what impact have you seen that have on the industry and people working in the mining industry?
At the moment, it is terrible. Our rates basically have gone down $20 an hour. I think the Australian government's a bit to blame in regards to they don't class miners as high risk jobs anymore. We're not classed as high risk where we used to be, and that's why our rates have gone down. You know, back in I don't know, 2 years ago they were paying labour hire $60 an hour, and now we're back down. Well, the last job I was in was $43 an hour. Being an permanent employee for the last say 10 years in coal, and like I said, I was in management for a fair while as a dirt boss and stuff. Seeing labour hire back when I was a boss to where it is today as being a labour hire person has changed a lot. In regards to respect in the pit, there used to be a lot of respect given to the labour hire worker, but now, as I see in the last 2.5 years I've been in the pit, it is terrible. You don't get any respect from the management side. The union actually is woeful in some sites. I won't mention what sites, but union bullying goes on out on the sites. As a labour hire person, because you're just labour hire, you're treated as a outcast, I could say. It's awful. Do
you still have the same entitlements with labour hire, like holiday pay, anything like that? So how does it work?
No, that's one of the major benefits we don't get. The way I look at it, labour hire is paid at a flat rate. So if I'm paid $43 an hour, I don't get any sick leave, I don't get any holiday leave, I don't get any overtime. If I do an overtime day, I'm still classed as a $43 flat rate. And another thing I feel strongly against, as being an all-round operator, getting paid the same as a guy who's just been in the industry 2 years. You know, I've worked hard in the last 20 plus years to get to where I was, and to come back down and be treated just as a number, and my pay is just the same as old mate who's just been in the industry, who don't really care or have a passion for the industry, is wrong.
And you were saying that it's not considered a high-risk job anymore. Can you explain what you mean by that?
Well, high risk, we work with big machinery. You know, we're driving 400-tonne trucks or operating 600 to 1,000-tonne diggers. It is a big industry, or big gear, big sand pit. And if we have a bengal out there in the industry, someone usually gets hurt. Thank God it has been great. We've had no fatalities recent. I've never had a fatality on my watch, thank God. But high risk, I feel that, yes, we are out there. You know, we work 7 days away from our family. The high risk, I feel, these days is just getting to work when you drive in, drive out. You know, a lot of people fly in, fly out. Companies do supply bus in, bus out. But drive in, drive out, just getting to work is a high risk. And then you get to site, and then you got low walls, you got high walls, you got instabilities, you got a lot of hazards in the industry. We are missing out with safety in the mining industry. Like a labour hire are scared to speak up. In hindsight, they think they're going to get axed. And in my haul road, on Word in the Haul Road mining page on Facebook, one of my businesses I got, there is instances there where people have been dismissed because of bringing up safety.
And with when you're on a labour hire contract, and you've been doing this for about 2 years, you were saying?
2.5 years I've been labour.
So what sort of contracts do you get put on? Are they just short term and they keep renewing them, or how does that work?
Yeah, some are ongoing. Mainly they'll say 3 months, but they just keep on going. You just never know. There's no security in the industry no more. And this is the scary part. Like I said, I'm a single dad of 3. This just throws me in a whole other world. You know, I've got to wait. I find in the last 2.5 years I've been to about 4 different mine sites with labour hire. it takes you around 2 months to get back in. So, you know, you go to Centrelink and that takes ages to get money, and that's not much money. It's not going to pay the bills.
And you were just saying before that safety has become a big issue. So what has happened with safety now that labour hire companies are increasingly working on site?
The safety presence is not there no more. Safety has to be in the pit. You go to a pre-start, you get the OCU report, what hazards are out in the pit, you go to work. If you've got an issue with safety, you put in a hazard report or you report to your supervisor, or if you can fix it, you fix it. But in a couple of sites I've been to, there is no safety superintendents no more. They're all based in Brisbane. There's just no safety, and I witnessed it. I witnessed people bringing safety issues up, and they were never followed up. It's sad, and this is what's going to cause a fatality, and it's not far away.
What percentage would you say of workers of labour hire on a mining site compared with permanent?
Some sites are mainly all labour hire. Well, not all, you still got to have your permanents, but the site I was at, just say for example, for a crew of 10 to run a pit, like one digger, you need 5 trucks, a water cutter, grader, and so the last pit I was at, there was 3 permanents, so you know the rest is over 50%, I guess, labour hire in some mine sites. The labour hire, you know, they need to be much more closely audited and regulated by Fair Work and Department of Commerce, I think, to ensure that they're not maintaining market share and profits, simply by disadvantaging employees. When I done my coalboard medical, I said to the nurse who was doing my test, I said, do you get many miners in here, you know, like me, because I was in and out of work, and she goes, every day. And she's telling me that they're trying to sell their house and move back in with their parents because they can't afford their bills. People don't see this. You know, people in the real world don't see what the miner's going through.
Gavin Geiger there speaking with Inga Stunsner, and he's set up a Facebook page called Word on the Hall Road for Miners in Queensland. He now has over 7,000 members on that Facebook page.